Hello Makeup Void, I'm Trin and welcome back to my channel, and I am so salty. Oh my goodness, it's the day after Christmas and I didn't have a good Christmas. I feel so incredibly salty and I'm going to take it out on makeup. But did I take it out on makeup? Did I stick to my no buy for December? Stay tuned, give this video a like, dislike, I don't care. Let's go ahead and get rolling. I said in my last low buy update that I was going to do a no buy for December. So did I actually stick with that? When I did announce that I was doing a no buy, I was teetering on, do I include eyeshadow palettes, do I not? And I was kind of teetering on the, I do want to include eyeshadow palettes and then just rank them next year. So we're going to touch on eyeshadow palettes last, but I stuck to the no buy. I did it. I did a month of no buys. I did buy replacements for some products, but a lot of people will do replacement only no buys. And because okay, let me talk about the products that I purchased. I purchased 2 new brow pencils and I bought literally the same ones that I always do, and I always buy them 2 at a time. It's the e.l.f. Instant Brow Lift Pencil, and I have mine in the shade like deep brown or something. So I use this brow pencil every single day when I do my makeup. I did not do my makeup. I technically only did my makeup once. I technically only not did my makeup once this month. And then yesterday, Christmas, I did sunscreen, brows, and primer. And then I was texting my Belgian friend and was like, I don't want to do my makeup. Also, I was texting him constantly and I couldn't see anything. So I was like, I'm just going to see fluff into makeup. And I'm just going to put my glasses on so I can talk to him. So I did purchase 2 new brow pencils. I purchased a new e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. The liquid one. I love this. I use it every single day since I used up my other primers. This is my holy grail. I think I purchased, is it the third or fourth one? Third or fourth? I don't know, but I've gone through a lot of these and I still continue to love the product, so I repurchased it. I also repurchased the e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder. So you can say this was a no buy, a replacement, but you almost say maybe I broke it because this is in the shade pink, but then I repurchased it in the lace shade. And the reason why I did that is just because I can't tell the difference. And sometimes I like to use this powder all over the face when I'm feeling a little bit lazy. So I have next to nothing left in this. So, and I was trying to remove like the shifter out of it and I just couldn't. I wasn't putting in the most effort, but I was still putting in some effort and I just couldn't get it off. And you know what? I don't care. I think I'm kind of, not for everything, but I also think I'm kind of past removing stoppers out of products because I either don't know what I'm doing or I break it and I just get really frustrated. So I think I'll half-ass try removing stoppers out of products, and if it doesn't work then I'll just leave it the way it is. So I did not remove the shifter out of it, but there is just so little, like, can you even see what's in there? Like, there is next to nothing in there. So probably break out the new one tomorrow when I do my makeup because I don't think this is going to be enough. I also use a lot of powder. I do my micro baking on the sides of my nose to hopefully prevent my glasses from removing makeup. Honestly, some days it works, some days it doesn't. I don't know why it's so inconsistent, but that's what happened. So I did repurchase this. And then so I did purchase 2 new eyeshadow palettes this month and I feel so salty about them. And I purchased 2 of the mini palettes from Ensley Reign. I bought the new one with the fox and I bought the squirrel one, which is Nutty by Nature. I opened What the Fox. Nutty by Nature is still in the packaging and I'm really torn on what to do. So if you haven't heard, or if you live in a bubble, if you live under a rock, maybe you don't have Instagram or maybe you don't have Reddit. I'm addicted to Reddit, so Reddit is where I first heard about it. And then one of you also showed me the deets on Instagram. But it came out that Ensley Reign was liking transphobic content on their brand account. That's incredibly stupid, but at the same time, I'm grateful that they showed their true colors. Now, I am not part of the LGBTQIA community. I like to imagine myself as an ally, but I'm a really shitty ally. So, I don't know how much of an ally I am, but at my job, I'm so salty about my job this week, but my job is very inclusive. It is very come as you are. On like the registration page when you walk in, we ask for your pronouns, we ask for your gender identity, and we ask if you have a preferred name. Like, we are very inclusive. We want to respect you, we want to take care of you, and we want to address you the way you want to be addressed. And it pisses me off what Ensley Reign has done. It pisses me off. And they did a half-ass apology on Instagram, like, oh, we'll do better. And, no. Granted, it's not my apology to accept. It's really not, because I'm not part of that community. It's really not my apology to accept. But even as being a shitty ally, it's still bullshit. It's still really bullshit. So I bought these 2 palettes before they showed their true colors, and I feel really stupid now, and I feel really gross for having these 2 palettes. So part of me is like, just use them. You spent like $65, $66 on these palettes. Just suck it up and use them. And I still might. But also part of my brain is like, I haven't touched these, I haven't swatched these, and I should probably just sell them on Mercari, because I really want nothing to do with the brand. I feel really duped. I feel really stupid for purchasing so many Ensley Reign palettes, because now I don't want to use any of them. The thing is, my brain is like, I wish I didn't include them in my eyeshadow palette ranking, but at the same time, I can't predict the future. I can't foresee like what a brand says or does. So if I knew what I knew now, I would have removed them from the ranking entirely. But I can't do that, and I'm not going to take down the video, because at the end of the day, I do think they produce really quality, solid products. But I can't support a brand that goes completely against my values and treating people like human beings. I don't think that LGBTQ is a political conversation. I think it's a humanitarian conversation. So it's a lot of like conservative right wing, I don't want to get into politics, but they view it as political conversation, but it's not. That's not what it is. It's treating people the way that they should be treated, which is like they're human beings that deserve love and respect as everybody else. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these palettes. I technically put them in my inventory for December, but I'm going to remove them from, I'm going to keep them in the inventory until I decide what I want to do with these. My brain is like, you should just use them off camera. You spent your money, just use them off camera. But another part of me is that I haven't opened these. Well, like I've opened this one, but I haven't even opened this one, so I should just sell them. And I wouldn't sell them for full price, but I would at least just sell them to get them out of my collection and recuperate some money. So let me know your thoughts on what I should do with these palettes. I still might use them off camera just because I spent my money. I'm just really torn, and it makes me feel really incredibly salty. So, so salty. So let's talk about work real quick, because, okay, so I work for a mental health care facility, mental health and substance use inpatient facility, and I am the first person that you see when you walk in. I handle registration. When I see clients, sometimes I'm just a paperwork girl. But at the end of the day, me and my coworkers do so much for clients. And this season, like, I didn't expect anything from my supervisors this season in terms of like gifts. But it would have been nice to get like a card, a thank you, because every other department, supervisors were buying pizza for their clients, they were giving gifts, other disciplines were just doing gift exchanges, and we just didn't do any of that. and it just really left a bitter taste in my mouth. And my supervisor made an offhanded comment saying that me and my coworkers don't do direct client care. Nothing at work really bothers me. Nothing at work really phases me. It's hard for me to really get aggravated at work. I have a long drive home, so usually by the time I get home at night, I have disassociated and forgotten everything that's happened at work that day. And that's just a mental health boundary that I've put in place. It's a defense mechanism. But that set me off. My supervisor just dismissing all the hard work that my coworkers do day in and day out. It was completely disrespectful. And I was so bitter, and I'm still upset about it because I politely went to my supervisor, messaged her like on Teams, because there was no way I was having this conversation face to face, because if we had a face to face, I would have lost my ever loving shit. So I messaged her on Teams, and I was just like, hey, what you said was hurtful. And not only was it hurtful, it was completely untrue. And I listed off the exorbitant amount of things that we do for clients every day. And she pretty much said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. So I do not accept that apology. But the way this factors into my low no buy is that in January, I would have taken out my anger on her on purchasing makeup. I would have taken that anger and used it to buy makeup. And I didn't do that. I didn't take it out on buying Ensley Reign palettes because her comment happened a few days ago. I bought the Ensley Reign palettes sort of like in the middle of December, so I didn't make a single makeup purchase because I was mad at her. I did buy a soda from the vending machine though, but I didn't take it out on her. I think I also did DoorDash that day. So I still spent money as kind of like a middle finger to her, but it wasn't makeup, which I would not have done in January. So for that, I think I did a pretty good job. The future, let's talk a little bit about the future going into 2025. I don't know what I'm going to do for my low no buy. Part of my brain is like, continue the no buy. You're doing a really good job. You survived a month without buying makeup. Make the exception eyeshadow palettes, because I love talking about eyeshadow palettes. I love purchasing new eyeshadow palettes. I love testing them. Eyeshadow palette content does really good on my channel. I should keep that momentum going. But also, I purchased like 21, 22 palettes this year, and for me, that's far too much. My low buy goals, I'm going to go specifically like numbers by numbers of how my low buy went when I do my makeup inventory, probably next week. Or like when I film that video next week, I might do it on Saturday. I have no idea. It's Thursday. I have no idea when I'm filming this week because I am prepared. So I'll go into details about like my numbers when it comes to my low buy when I do makeup inventory. But I purchased like 20 plus palettes this year, and my low buy said I'd buy one palette a month with the exception of my birthday. So according to my low buy rules, I was supposed to only purchase 13 palettes this year, and I bought over 20. And that's absurd. I just did a revisiting my 2023 palette ranking video, and I bought 28 palettes last year. I am a tiny channel. I am a tiny YouTube channel. I do not get PR. I am putting all this money that I don't really have into colorful powder. I'm not gonna give myself a number of how many palettes I can buy next year, but I am definitely going to take my purchases more seriously. A lot of palettes I kind of bought willy-nilly, that I was like, oh, it's just on sale. Oh, there's a sale. I didn't partake in any Sephora or Ulta sale this season. None of them. I wasn't even fazed by them. I didn't even have the temptation. There are two brands that are doing Boxing Day sales, so my brain is like, I want to get it. I have a little bit of money. But at the same time, it's like, I have an optometrist appointment next month that I desperately need, and I also desperately need to buy new glasses. So I could take my makeup budget and spend it on new glasses. I at least want to have enough like makeup budget money to pay for the eye exam. And I can't do that if I'm putting my money into makeup. So I don't know. My brain is going to allow myself to buy at least one eyeshadow palette in January, but also I have to keep in mind about the eye exam because that does come first. If I could at the very least save enough money to pay for that, perfect. If I buy an eyeshadow palette, if I still have money to buy an eyeshadow palette in January, I'm going to give my freedom to do that. But when it comes to other makeup products, I don't know. I really don't know. e.l.f. came out with a lot of releases this month and the end of November, like specifically the glitter lip oils. They came to my Target and I was like, just pick up one. My brain was like, just pick up one. You can do it. Just pick up one. And I stopped myself because I have the Half Magic glitter gloss. And it gets the job done. It's a gloss. It's not my favorite formula, but when I have a sparkly lip gloss already. Granted, I don't like this formula as much as the e.l.f. lip oils, so that was like another part of my brain being like, ooh, you should do it, ooh, you should do it. e.l.f. also came out with a brow pen, and I kind of want to try that because I tried the NYX brow pen a few years ago, and it was just an absolute trash mess. And my brows don't really look natural. They look kind of clunky, kind of chunky, so my brain is like, maybe get that brow pencil or that brow pen and see if that changes my brow gains. Maybe I can make them look realistic. So I have that in my brain. They came out with the matte Power Grip Primer, and they do sell a mini of that. So my brain is like, give that a shot. But what I learned this year from my low buy and testing out too many foundations, specifically the Urban Decay Face Bond foundation, is that too much, even though I have oily skin, too much matte makes me super oily and it makes my makeup break apart. So it's like my brain is like, get matte because you have oily skin. But at the same time, I also learned about my skin this year is that too much matte makes the problem worse. So I've talked myself out of that at least. So that's good. There's not really a new foundation out that has captured my attention. My brain still wants to try a cushion foundation. But at the same time, I don't really know what I want to do with that because I keep looking at the Merit foundation stick and that's really all I want to use. But at the same time, I want to use up literally every other foundation in my collection, so I only have the Merit stick, so that can be all I use. I'm tempted by the NYX Serum Concealer. I bought the lightest shade. I originally had the second lightest shade and I used that up, so I repurchased it in the lightest shade because I was thinking that I liked the lighter under eye concealer, and I don't really feel that way. Also, the light shade is a little bit too yellow, whereas the second light shade was just like on the money. So good. And I think if I buy the second light shade like I originally had, it's a dupe close enough to the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer where I can continue living without the concealer without the need of spending $30 on a concealer. So that's kind of like, I see myself purchasing. I've been thinking about buying that other shade for several months, so come January I might pick that up. That might be like I'm not holding myself to a no buy. I'm not holding myself to that, but doing a no buy in December has really, and doing a low buy all year has really shifted how I feel about makeup and where I want to put my money and how I value my money. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I am looking really forward to January and the following year. I don't know how much of a no buy I'm going to do. I don't fully want to commit to a no buy, but like I don't want to say that I'm going on a no buy because I have a fear of breaking it. So maybe I'll stick with just doing low buy updates and calling everything a low buy and then just giving myself a pat on the back when I actually do no buys. So that's kind of what the future is going to look like. I don't know if I'm going to do monthly updates anymore. I might. or maybe I'll just do updates when I feel like it. Another problem with my low buys is I'll show y'all all the products I bought in a month and then I don't talk about them ever again. I use them. All the products I used in 2024, I got a lot of use out of those products, but I don't come back on YouTube to talk about them. It's not like, oh, I purchased this product in January, let me talk about how I feel about it in March when I do my like February update. Like after a month of having these products, let me go back and review them. I forget which month that I purchased them. Since I did do my low buy and tracked every purchase by month, I'm going to start a new series. I already have it mapped out. I was going to do December and January, and then I realized how like I bought 2 products in December, so I want to wait till January to do like a December, January, like about these products a year ago. How do I feel about them? I got the idea from Hope Miss Tom. I've completely fallen in love with their channel this year, and I love everything, and I want to steal like every single just all the content they produce. It's like, ooh, I should do that. So if you see new video styles on my channel, I probably stole them from Hope Miss Tom because I absolutely adore them, and I just love their perspective on makeup. So I don't know what next year's gonna look like for a low buy. I don't know what it's gonna look like for a no buy, but this year has really shifted the way I perceive makeup. I think the incident at work really proved to me that my low buy mindset was a success. When I came into 24, I called my low buy a practice of mindfulness. And I did break my low buy several times, and I acknowledge that. I'll go into more details of that in my makeup inventory. But so in terms of purchasing products, I didn't have a successful low buy. But going back to the thesis, the beginning of January, when I called this low buy a practice of mindfulness, I think I had a very successful low buy year. So I don't know what January is going to look like. I might still place an e.l.f. order because e.l.f. has me in a chokehold. e.l.f. is like my most tempted brand. e.l.f. and Indie eyeshadow palettes is what really gets under my skin and really makes me want to place a purchase. And I really do want to try the e.l.f. contour, like their liquid camo contour. I do really want to try their liquid lilac blush. So those are the 2 big things that I really want to try in January. So again, I'm not holding myself fully to a no buy. I'm going to give myself some freedom if I can sort of like balance my makeup budget to where I can purchase, pay for my eye exam, and then also make an e.l.f. and Indie eyeshadow purchase. If I can find a balance between those 3, then maybe I'll place an e.l.f. order. But I think in terms of prioritizing that tiny budget, it's going to be eye exam, eyeshadow palettes, e.l.f. I think that's the order of importance that I'm bringing into January. So this video is way longer than I thought it was going to be. So I'm just going to thank y'all so much for watching today's video. Give it a like, give it a dislike, subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications. I upload videos on Sundays and Tuesdays at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I originally set that time because I'd get up at like 5 in the morning, and then I started waking up at like 8:30, and then I was like, this is fucking stupid. Why am I still doing the upload at 6 in the morning when I'm not going to reply to comments that early? Anyways, comment down below. Takes me a few days, but I always reply to your comments. I love your feedback. Let me know how you feel about Ensley Reign because I am so incredibly salty about that. And I'll catch you on my next video. As always, have joy and bye!